When we use motivational interviewing, we have something called sustained talk versus change talk. What exactly do they mean? Sustained talk means that the person who is reluctant or ambivalent towards change, they're in this sort of, I'm not yet ready to leave my comfort zone. I'm in the status quo at this very point. So sustained talk is, I want to change, but there's always the but. There is that but. However, there's something keeping you from changing, making that positive change that you want to make. It's not easy to remove yourself or to get yourself out of the comfort zone. But what we're trying to work on is moving from sustained talk to more change talk. It's okay to feel ambivalent, by the way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay to feel reluctant to change. Change is never easy. It really isn't easy, and it takes a lot of effort. People who experience depression, for instance, low mood, they feel they just don't want to be around people. I want to isolate myself. Sometimes it's not that they really want to, but it's like, I just don't want to be around people because I don't want people to see me in this state. And also, I don't feel comfortable being around people. So it's just your mood is not at its best. But how can we overcome that? You need to get out of your comfort zone. But how? I can't just start doing things. Exactly. We need to take them in little steps, baby steps, taking them in one step at a time. Think of a task that you're going to find quite difficult at the moment. Maybe before it was easy peasy, but now it's really, really difficult to do, which is fine. Can we break it down into easier steps? Can we somehow really just take it, break it down? Let's think of easier steps. A good example, people struggle with cooking. People struggle with shopping, for instance. It feels a lot to them, believe it or not. So what can we do to break it down? Why don't we write a list? Let's get a list. Let's get, a note. Get ourselves one of these, get yourself a note or write it on your phone and then start writing a list of what is it that you want to get? What is it that you want to buy? What do you want to get down the shops? What would you like to get? Just write whatever you want. Let's start with the list. All right. If you feel ready, we can move on to the next, which is let's go and actually get them. But if you're not feeling that way, fine. At least we've done step one. Let's write a list. The next is let's go get the stuff. And then we move on. It's taking them step at a time, but really working on getting them closer, getting yourself closer to actually reaching your goal. But you're thinking about, I still want to, but there's always that but. Let's see how we can maybe work around this and do a bit of change. What would help you to change? So let's move from sustained talk to change talk now. What would help you to change? What helped before? Let's say, was there a time, that you experienced any of these difficulties? You struggled to change, but, was there something that you made? Was there a change in your life before that you made? And what helped make that change? Maybe you used to smoke before and you were able to overcome that and stop. Maybe you used to drink and now you no longer drink anymore. You were able to stop that. Maybe there was an old habit that you used to have and you managed to stop it. You overcame and you managed to stop that habit and you replaced it with something better. What helped back then that we could use now? What can help you to make that change? And let's think about that. Change is never easy, as I always say, but it is possible. It just needs time. It needs effort. And the issue is we're not willing to put in that effort because we are relaxed. We are in our comfort zone. We don't want to leave it because leaving it is really painful. In a way, it is painful, like in terms of putting in the effort. But how long can we keep ourselves not changing, not making a difference in our lives? Change is not something that's just going to drop from the sky. The first thing we need to do is to take that first step, because by taking that first step, we will then see great things coming our way.